Hey everyone, this is Lisa from Life in Layouts, and today I have a layout for you using this 8 photo 5-pack from Scrapbook Generations. I'm also going to be using PhotoPlay's Summer Daydream. This is a super old collection, trying to use these collections up. I am going to be scrapbooking some photos of my nephews and my mom at the beach back in 2016. So these photos are super old as well. So on the right hand side of the layout, it calls for a grid style photos. I believe they are 3.5 by 3.5. It calls for 3 different mats. And so I decided to go ahead and mat them on this like teal paper, then the polka dotted paper, and then the teal paper again. The background of this layout calls for a bunch of different strips, which I love using because then I get to use lots of different scraps, which is kind of what I have left in this layout. I'm also going to be using this carved pumpkin as my distress ink. I'm going to be distressing all of the sides of the strips to kind of bring all of the strips together. You can see here that this collection is very colorful, and I love the way that it came out. On the left hand side of the layout, I have some photos, and I decided that since I have such a square on the right, I was going to do some wonky stuff on the left. So I'm going to come back to that in just a second. I'm going to get all of my pieces down. I went ahead and just put the adhesive right down on the paper. This is a great way to kind of make it go a little bit faster since it's you got so many strips. And then this layout also called for some 1/4 inch strips kind of in the middle of the bigger strips as well. I'm just adding those in now and adding the pieces throughout. Now, of course, this is a Allison Davis sketch, so she loves her stitching. So I went ahead and pulled out some embroidery thread in a couple of different colors. I did the orange on the blue, and then I did actually a little like squiggly line, something a little bit different, not just a straight stitch. And I did that in the yellow on the teal stripe paper. So this is where I'm going to go ahead and put my photos down, and I felt like it was just getting a little lost. The photos were getting a little lost, and I really liked that yellow paper with, I don't know what they are. I think they're supposed to be like sunshines, some wonky sunshines, but I felt like my photos were just getting lost in there. So I went ahead and put them on this bubbly paper. It's like a teal paper with bubbles on it. Added yellow paper behind it, but then I felt like it still got lost. So I went ahead and mounted the yellow paper on this water paper. And then I did decide to gut the water paper just in case, in case I needed the paper for something else. I added the yellow paper on top of it and then my photos on top of that. And I felt like that was perfect because it gave it enough contrast against all of that striped paper. So once I got the right hand side down, I'm going to start working on the left hand side, and I am going to mount all of my photos on different pattern paper. So I did go ahead and use the back, that little piece that I cut out of the water paper. I went ahead and used the bubble paper. There's some kiwis, which you can't even really tell. It was just enough to give it that green contrast. Then I decide to try to figure out how I'm going to arrange these photos. I do go ahead and put 2 of them up on Fun Foam, and those are the 2 that are kind of in the center of this wonky grid is the best way to describe it. I decided for this layout that I was going to use up some of these jewels that I've had forever. So over here on the far right hand side, I have the jewel that goes up the right hand side and then kind of also down on the bottom, and I felt like I needed something to sit in that center. So I am looking through all of my stash and I end up putting something down, but I'm going to change that in just a second. My title is going to be Make Your Own Sunshine, and I'm using lots of different fonts. I had this sheet of really funky thickers, and it had all kinds of funky sayings on it, like in different fonts and everything, and I love the way that this title came together. And then I also pulled from the sticker sheet the stickers that match one of the strips of paper that are down at the bottom. That's what I used for the word own. And I did go ahead and outline that in brown because I felt like it was getting lost in that white paper. And I really like the way that that stands out. It almost gives it like a border look on that side. So because my title has sunshine in it, I was like, of course I have to add a sun. So I went ahead and added that. Then I went ahead and added over to the left-hand side the little tag there that says good times. Then I'm going to cut this sunshine out. Like I said, I added something there and it just didn't work out. I didn't like the way that it looked. It was kind of really small. I added this tag that says summer, not sunshine, summer to the edge there, and I felt like that really kind of tied those two pieces of jewels together. And then I added a little geo tag, and to bring over the jewels, I'm going to add some jewels to that geo tag as well. I added to the left there an arrow. I'm also going to add some little tiny stickers over to the right. This is where I go ahead and add in some jewel pieces. Since I have lots of jewels on this layout, I was like, let's go big or go home, right? So I went ahead and added the jewels to the different pieces there as well. And then this is where I'm going to outline the word own. So make your own sunshine. And like I said, it gives it a border look that is just gorgeous. All right, so here is my final layout as well as some close-ups. I did go ahead and add my journaling to the layout off camera so you can see that in my close-ups. If you enjoyed this video, if you wouldn't mind giving me a thumbs up, I'd really appreciate it. If you haven't done so already and you want to see more double page layout inspiration, make sure you hit that subscribe button. Thanks everyone for watching, and I hope that you have a scrappy day.